All right, so I just went ahead and cut up my chicken. So as you can tell, it has a little bit of a cooked look to it on half of it. And that would be because I might have forgot to thaw out my chicken. So I just stuck it in the microwave real quick. And there you go. So I am just covering this chicken with some Pampered Chef garlic and herb rub. And you don't have to use it as a rub. You can just use it as a flavor seasoning. You can put it in a bag if you wanted to coat everything. I'm just going to do it this way. So I have my quick cooker on sear, and it is warming up. And I'm going to throw some olive oil in there. And we're just going to cook this chicken up right into that olive oil. So let's get that in there. So it says 2 tablespoons. I don't see anything wrong with doing a little eyeing it up. So there you go, there's that. Oh, it smells really good. This seasoning is so delicious. Any of the Pampered Chef seasonings, if you have them, go ahead and comment below and share exactly just how delicious they are. They smell so delicious, they're so flavorful, just amazing. I love these. So like I said, this one is garlic and herb. And there you go. So you can see that one again. I'm getting this oil heated up here. So it's on sear. So once I get that heated up, we're going to get that chicken in there. And then as soon as we get the chicken in there, then we're going to add the sauce, pasta, and the water. And then while that's cooking, once it comes up to pressure, then while we're waiting for that and it cooks for 5 minutes, I'm going to shred some cheese. And this meal comes together really quickly. So here's the lid to the quick cooker. Here's the silicone ring. So I'm just going to slide this right into place and just make sure that it's in place all the way around. Like so. And then the other things you want to watch for when you're using your quick cooker, you want to make sure that this button is flush and that this red button is down. And then as it builds pressure, it'll come up. You just want to make sure that this is in place. It does rock around a little bit, and that's okay. You can see there's a little piece that fits right in this notch right there, so you just want to make sure that that's lined up, and that's good to go. So once we get all the ingredients in there, we'll just pop that lid on, and then we'll turn on to the chicken setting, and then we'll start it from there. Actually, we're going to do custom, not chicken. We're going to do the custom setting. So I used the forged Santoku knife to cut up the chicken. Made very quick work of that. And then I had my seasoning ready to go in my 1 cup prep bowl. So this make getting prepped very quick and easy. So I'm going to go ahead and see if this is warm enough yet. Does not feel like it's getting warm. What am I doing wrong here? I forgot to press start. That helps. So now that I've pressed start, now it should start getting warm pretty quickly. And it does actually heat up really quickly. So we're going to heat the oil up in the pot first, and then we're going to add the chicken. Once we add the chicken, then we are going to add the sauce, pasta, and water. So I'm going to get the water ready, and that is 1 cup of water. Alright, so I have my Easy Read measuring cup, and this is the 2 cup size. I have it filled to 1 cup. And now when I'm ready to use this, I'm not going to put it right into the quick cooker. I'm going to pour that into the spaghetti sauce jar, so that way I can use that to rinse this out and get all of that saucy goodness in there. Now I like using Classico jars because these jars are actually like good for canning jars. So they're actually, you can see it says Atlas on here, they're mason jars. You just peel the labels off, and then what I do is I just put warm water on the outside, on the inside, and then soak it in warm water, and that gets all this last little bit of residue off of there. And then I just save the jars for doing canning. So I actually have a whole bunch of these jars. Let's see if I can find you one. Here we go. So I have a whole bunch of these jars because it's the only sauce that I use. And so, you know, this summer when I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of canning, especially I'm about to make a whole bunch of pickles, these jars are great for that. So I only use this sauce for that reason. And that was the Classico. Alright, so this should be heating up pretty good. Oh yeah, now it's nice and warm. So I'm going to slide this over so you can see in here. You see in there pretty good. There you go. Alright, the oil is heated up pretty good. Like I said, that was some olive oil, a couple tablespoons. So the recipe actually calls for chicken tenderloin cut up into bite-sized pieces. But I actually just used a chicken breast because that is what I had. I went to the store and forgot to buy chicken. So I just used what I have on hand here. So, and it also says to separate into 2 batches. But I'm just going to do everything in one batch because I didn't have, you know, too much that I felt like wouldn't fit in there. So we're just going to stir this around, put a nice little sear on there for a second. And then once we're done with that, then we're going to add in the pasta sauce and the water. We only need 8 ounces of pasta for this recipe, which is half a box. So I have this recipe here, and it actually just calls for penne, and I got this kind because they didn't have the penne. So that's the thing with these recipes is that you can do whatever you need to do with them to make them work for you and for what you have. Don't be afraid to, you know, just kind of make it up as you go along. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to give this another stir here. And these rubber spatulas are heat safe up to 400 degrees, so there's no problem with me using this in here. And let that go for another few minutes. And it says to cook it uncovered for 5 to 7 minutes, stirring once until the exterior is browned. The chicken's not going to be cooked through, but it's okay because it's going to cook during the cooking process. When it's doing the pressure cooking. So give that another couple minutes. And then we're going to get this rest of these ingredients in here. It smells so good with that seasoning on there. Alright, that's good enough. That was about 5 to 7 minutes, we'll say. And so then we're going to add in spaghetti sauce. And it just says 1 jar of tomato pasta sauce. It doesn't say any particular flavor or anything. So since we're using the garlic and herb rub, I just went ahead and got the roasted garlic pasta sauce. And then, like I said, I'm just going to use this water here. Give that a good shake. There we go. Now we got all that in there. And then we need 2 cups of pasta. So you can use the same measuring cup. Alright, so then it says, once we add all of that, we're going to give it a quick stir around. Actually, it doesn't say to stir. It doesn't say to stir, but we're going to go ahead and stir because I know we want to get that pasta down into the sauce. Give that a quick stir. Alright, so we're going to get this lid right on here. There you go. You can hear it talks to you. So we're going to cancel that sear setting off. And then we're going to hit, let me see if I can get this in here for you. So we're going to hit custom. And then we're going to put this down to 5 minutes of time. And then that's it. Start. So it's going to do this until it comes up to pressure. So I'm just going to double check and make sure my button's flush up here, red button's down. It's all good to go. And so it's going to do this until it comes up to pressure. Once it comes up to pressure, this red button up top here, this button right here will pop up. And then once that pops up, then I know it's to pressure. This timer will change from being the circle. It'll be a timer for 5 minutes. And then once that starts going, then once the 5 minutes is done, then I'm going to pressure release manually instead of letting it naturally release. And then I believe we're good to go. Oh, well, we're going to top it with some cheese and some panko, which we're going to work on that now while this is cooking. All right, so next we're going to do so we're going to put some butter, a tablespoon of butter in a bowl, and we're going to mix that with some panko breading. So get my cup back again here. So we need to melt a tablespoon of butter. I got my handy dandy spreader here. We're just going to cut off a tablespoon. Now we need a 1/4 cup of seasoned panko crumbs. I have these here, garlic and herb. Oh, actually those aren't the panko ones. Oh. Right, I might not have any of those, so we're just gonna go with these. That is crunchy, but they'll work. So this has measurements on the side here. So it says a 1/4 cup. There's obviously some butter in there, so we're just going to go a little over that. I don't think it needs to be an exact science. It might be a little over, but we're going to go with it. I'm just going to mix that all together. So as long as the breadcrumbs are well moistened, we should be good to go. All right, looks good to me. So there's that, and that's going to be a topping for this meal here. And then next, we're going to shred some cheese. So we need to shred some Parmesan cheese and some mozzarella cheese. Alright, so I have the coarse adjustable grater here with the food holder, and then we have some mozzarella and some Parmesan. Alright, so now it says that we need 1 ounce of Parmesan and we need 3/4 cup of mozzarella cheese. So we're going to stir the Parmesan cheese into the pasta, and then we're going to top with the mozzarella cheese. We're going to cover it and let it stand, and then we're going to top with the toasted panko to serve. So that means that I was forgetting that I have to microwave the breadcrumbs. So we're going to put those in. It says for 30 to 45 seconds. Going up to 45. Alright, so get this started here. I'm going to go ahead and do the Parmesan cheese. So since this is getting mixed in to hot pasta, it really doesn't matter how much or what size you're grating it to. So these are bigger pieces, but it's okay because they're getting melted anyway. So it said to do 1 ounce, which is half a cup. So I still have a ways to go. Half a cup, really? That is half a cup. So you can hear it's coming up to temperature. You can see the little red buttons popping up on its own. It's coming up to temperature. It's building that pressure. That last little bit of pressure is still coming out. Hasn't quite closed it off yet. There you go. And then once that's popped all the way up, you can hear that the pressure stopped because it's all building internally now. And then this will soon turn to 5 minutes once it's completely up to pressure the rest of the way. All right, so let's get back to grating some cheese. So it says 1 ounce, but it also says half a cup. But this block is 5 ounces, and I would say I've already used probably a fifth of that. So I think their half a cup might be wrong. That's gonna be my guess, but I'll do a little more. I think I need to unwrap it a little more. Try it like that. Alright, so we're going to go with that much Parmesan. Alright, and a little counter cheese. Alright, we got our toasted breadcrumbs here. So they do feel a little more dried out now and a little more fluffy. So those are good and ready to go. That's just a topping. We got our Parmesan good and ready to go. Then we just need to get some mozzarella. Mozzarella, we need 3/4 of a cup, and this is just a topping. So really you can't go wrong with however much you want to go with. So now we're going to go ahead and use the food holder this time. So that just slides on here just like that, and then it opens up. Has a little cup in there where you put the food that you're trying to hold. So I'm going to stick the mozzarella in there like that. And then we're going to have it, actually I think I'll just lay it across the bowl like that. And then we're just going to go back and forth. Apply pressure to the top of the food holder. That squishes it down. The mozzarella is a softer cheese, so you can see it's rolling out the ends here. Still have some left in there. And make sure you don't grate your fingers. Always a good tip. And then these big chunks like this, well, those just need to be eaten. It's one of the perks of being the chef. so the timer on here is 2 minutes left. Once that's done, release. We're going to manually release by pushing the release button. And then we're going to mix it all together. Clean up, put away some ingredients. Keep my extra pasta in these containers that I got from AliExpress for a couple bucks. I wish one of those too. There's that little pour spout on there, so I'm going to use my microwave pasta maker to make a single serving of pasta. I can just measure it out with this. Alright, so that's done. So we're going to move this out from under the cabinet here. We're going to release that pressure, release that steam. There we go. Alright, let's get you a better view here. So we're going to push this button here and that's going to release the steam. And then you'll see that red button that we looked at earlier. It'll pop down. And that's how you'll know that all the steam has been released and it's safe to open. And there you go. So that button dropped down. Now I know it's safe to open. The pressure is no longer built up. Just going to hold it just so I don't hear any more noise coming left out of there. Just to make sure it's safe. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got in here. There we go. Looking pretty yummy. So we want to stir in this Parmesan cheese into there. Hey, baby doll. You want to eat? Eat? You hungry? Food? Yeah, food. All right. So we're going to go ahead and serve that up and put some of the cheese and some of the panko on there. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to put this right on top in here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let that melt on top right in here.
Patty.
You want patty? All right. So we're gonna let that melt. And then we're gonna serve it up. I'm just gonna sprinkle this right on top. There we go. So that is quick cooker chicken Parmesan, 30 minutes. Looks delicious, smells delicious. Can't wait to eat it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next recipe.